Hello everyone, this is Andrew with MrRCSound, and I just wanted to do a video here for you. I hope everybody had a really good Christmas and got what they wanted, and are looking forward to the new year. So, I've had several of the same question asked before. Mostly deals around with setting up the sound unit and syncing it to the motor. And so I thought I'd go over a few things here and try to clarify some stuff. So I got a Budget B set up here. I got my radio here, and I'll try to get some pictures of the menu system and stuff. Now this is a Turnigy 9X radio, so your radio is probably a little bit different, but you know, pretty much any of the computerized radios have the same functions as far as mixing and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to look at today, and we're going to cover several topics. We're going to cover hookup, Y cable versus auxiliary channel setup. Why does the sound not restart? I've heard that one a couple of times. Endpoint adjustments, trim adjustments, sound first, motor first, or synced, and speaker placement. So let's get started here. First off, the unit, you know, I'm sure you've seen the unit before, but this is the new version 3. And we have a voltage regulator over here, and we have the amplifier, and then we have the sound card unit. So the sound card actually hooks up to a channel on a receiver. There's my receiver for the Turnigy. And this is the power connector. And I leave this empty because everybody has their own style of connector they like, whether they be Deans, Micro Deans, JST, whatever. So what you're going to need to do, in this case, I've got a Y cable, just a simple Y built here, soldered up, just so they're not touching and stuff. And I'm just going to hook it up using alligator clips. This is how I do my testing. Just have to be careful is all. And I've got a watt meter on it that shows me how much power I'm drawing and stuff. So let's get started here. So the easiest way to hook up the system is to simply go to via Y cable, and I don't have one on me right at the moment, but basically go with a Y cable to the throttle channel. And that seems to work really well with the low-end radios. The radios that come with the FMS RTF airplanes, the Dynam planes, stuff like that. I've used those radios, and they almost fall in perfectly. Sometimes the sound will start just a little bit after, but for the most part, they're pretty good. Now, some of the better radios, the computer radios, they don't want to sync up that way at all. So I highly suggest if you have a computer radio of any type, whether it's JR, Spectrum, Futaba, Turnigy, put it onto another channel and do mixing. We'll go over that in just a second. So basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to plug this into my radio. Now I got this already mixed on channel 7, so channel 7 is mixed with channel 3, the throttle channel, and then you just hook it up to the power unit. And one thing that I have to say is please do not make any adjustments on the voltage regulator or on the card. They've been preset. It could cause the speaker or amplifier to blow if things are changed, and that wouldn't be a good thing. It will void the warranty on it. So turning on my radio, and then plug it in. I'll just do a quick run up on this. And I've got the volume turned way down on this, but just for demonstration purposes. So that's your general hookup. So now let's move on to Y cable versus auxiliary, and I kind of touched on that already. Using the Y cable is preferred, or excuse me, is not preferred. It will work okay if that's all you have, and that's the radio works okay that way, but I really, really highly suggest going to an auxiliary channel, because what it will do is it will allow you to set the endpoints, the trim settings for both the motor and the sound unit, and allow much closer synchronization. So Having covered that, let me take a break here and set my radio up, and we'll go on to why the sound does not restart. Now, this has been a few people have brought this to my attention, and it's nothing wrong with the system. It actually has to do with the radio settings. It has to do with the endpoint settings. So we'll go over that. Let me get the radio set to where it will not restart, and then I'll show you how to set it so that it does. Well, after playing with the radio for a bit, I can't seem to force it into a mode where the sound doesn't restart on this this particular unit. I think that's because of the radio. Some radios seem to do it more than other radios, but every time that I've ever encountered it, it's always due to endpoint, trim settings, or even Expo and dual rate have an effect on it, especially dual rate if you have dual rate on, especially if it's mixed on the aux channel, auxiliary channel. So anyways, I can't force it to do that on this one, but basically what it has to do with is you need to change both the trim setting, or excuse me, the endpoint settings for the auxiliary channel and for the throttle channel, and you're going to need to play with that to get it to the right position on the throttle stick. As you can see right now, I don't know if you can see the menu on that or not, but I've got it set for 100% on both throttle and auxiliary, and it's off a little bit. I mean, I have to come up quite a bit to get the sound to come on. So now to get that more synced up, what I would do is I would actually I would decrease the auxiliary channel. So let's bring that down to around, oh, that's too low. Let's say around 80%. Okay. And now we'll try starting again. It should kick in a little bit earlier. A little bit. Let's bring it down some more. So let's see, where am I? About 70%. You know what? I may be... Okay, so down around 76% or so. But then we're also going to need to adjust the throttle channel. Now, you don't do that until we actually have it in the plane, so that we can sync it up a little bit better. So, but I'm gonna mess with it here just a little bit and bring that down a little bit more. So now it's about 3 clicks up before it starts the startup sound, and then goes into an idle. So it's actually on the third mark here, if you can see that, where it's an idle. But it actually starts out on the second mark on this radio, so it's actually not going up too much here. Just up above, and then bring it back down just a little bit so it plays the startup. And I might be able to adjust that a little bit closer. Still seems a little bit high. But that's done with endpoint adjustments. Oh, I should adjust the trim. That may have something to do with it as well. I'm going to advance the trim a little bit. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now you can see. Okay, now I need to turn get it to the point where it shuts down. There you go. Let's try right about there. So now it should crack open pretty early. Yep, before that first mark. So now the startup and shutdown is all between these two marks. Okay, so I hope that explains a little bit better. And now we're going to move on to, well, that was the endpoint adjustments. and why the sound does not restart. They have to do with each other. And trim adjustments. So as you can see there, I don't know if you saw me or not, but I actually adjusted the trim a little bit here. I'm going to trim it. If I trim it up a little bit, it should start a little bit sooner. So now it's just barely coming off the peg, and it goes into start and idle. It's a little bit too far. There we go. Okay, so we've covered all those topics. Now I'm gonna actually go to a plane and do a demonstration with the plane with the motor, and show you how to do sound first, motor first, or synced. And basically, it has to do with the same thing. It has to do with the endpoint adjustments and stuff. So let me cut away, and I'll get a plane out, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, guys, this is my T6 Texan 2, and on this model, I've got the turbine sound because, well, these are a turbine-driven plane. If you've ever heard the real startup of one, it sounds more like a jet than it does an airplane. Looks like I gotta reset the trim on my aileron there. I've got one aileron kind of sticking up. But anyways, I've got the throttle set for this. The low end of the throttle set at 90%, and the high or the low end of the auxiliary channel set to 112%. Now, what this will allow you to do is at that setting, when I give it a little bit of throttle, it'll start the jet engine sound first, and then I give it just a smidgen more, like one more click, and the prop will start turning, and then give it just a hair more, another one or two clicks, and it will finish the startup sound, and it will settle into the idle sound. So let me demonstrate that there for you. I have the trim setting off apparently on this. There we go. Let me show you what that looks like on the radio, if I can get this in the field of view here. So I crack it open, it starts playing the sound, crack it open a little bit more. Again, I'm still right within those first two marks on there, so this is very low throttle. I'm going to up it just a little bit, right about to there, and it drops into the idle. Now we'll go down to the shutdown. So again, changing any of those throttle or any of those settings, like let's say I go to the throttle setting here, and we'll adjust that. We'll adjust it up. How's that? We'll go to 110 just for giggles. And now you can see I'm moving the throttle way up before the sound starts. So it moved the whole thing up by quite a bit. So we'll put that back to the, whoops, not too far. Went way too far on that one. Go back to the 90% where it was. And adjusting the auxiliary channel up and down will also affect it. And then if you need fine tuning, I recommend using the throttle trim for the fine tuning. And you can either do that with the trim tab, or you can actually do it in the trim menu on this radio. I assume that other radios have something similar. So let's move on to the next segment, the final segment, speaker placement. Unplug the battery there. I hope you guys can see this okay. I'm going to try to flip this over. Bring it right there. Let's see if you can see that. Take a look here. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Speaker placement as near to the CG as possible. I'm using the cloth covering on this. I haven't painted it yet. It was kind of a trick to get it into this plane because this is a 1200 millimeter plane, so it was a little bit tight. But once I rewired it and put the wires in it, there's a couple connection harnesses and stuff. This plane comes ARF, so it has a gear sequencer and stuff like that. So I had to kind of move those around a little bit to make room for the sound unit. But once it's in, it's not a problem. I have not flown it yet, but I don't anticipate it to be a problem. The motor provides plenty of power, and the speaker's right on the CG, so I think it should be okay. So I hope that this helps some people out here. And if there's any questions or anything, anybody needs to know anything more, please give me a shout. I'll try to answer them the best I can. See you guys.